Hey, good morning, everybody. I was not here on Friday. Thank you for those who looked for me. I'm going to get right into it. I did a shitload of homework over this weekend. So I'm going to share with you my homework, exactly what I was looking at going into today. Now, going into today, I carried two positions. I carried calls in the SOXL and I carried calls in Palantir. And we're going to get to that and we're going to get to all the other homework I did. So if you're looking for certain investments, calls, or puts, I'm going to share exactly what I was looking at over the weekend, the flows and algos. But first, let's talk about the market, because remember, the market sold off late on Friday. I'm sorry, late on Thursday. Friday morning, it opened up down, okay? And then we saw a rebound. Now, here's the thing. We saw extreme good volume on Friday. The SPY by like 10:34 had a volume of 20 million. That generally doesn't happen until after 11. And on slow days, it doesn't happen until about 11:40 or 11:50 a.m. So I knew the volume was going to be strong. So I had to see if it was supporting the market. And it was. So here's the catch, or here's what I think is going to happen. I'm actually expecting the SPY to continue going up, which is why I got involved with two call positions. They expire the end of this week. We have NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday. I'm going to get to that really soon as well. But I'll tell you my thought process. My thought process, we became oversold. So we bounced a little. I'm thinking 448, not an all-time highs, but back to 448. And then the market has to decide whether we're going to hit all-time highs or sell off. So that's my game plan. Maybe not 448, maybe 445, 444. The point is, I'm holding two call positions. When would I sell them? Let's say today's a decent day and we saw some jockeying around, of course, light volume, 3-point range, because today is Monday. SPY closes at right now, it's at 338 and change, 430 and change. Let's just say it closes here, goes up and down a 3-point range, but it closes exactly where it is now. What would I be doing? Holding my positions, because I think the SPY is on its way back to 444, 445 before it has a decision to make. So I say to myself, any calls that I'm in, as long as the algorithms support that decision, I should be okay. Now, here's the thing I want to do. Everybody knows who Tom Lee is. So since 1990, when McLean's oscillator crosses below 50, negative 50, majority of the market bottoms occur within 15 days. Okay. So somebody said anticipate the bottom around NVIDIA. Jackson Hole, NVIDIA is Wednesday. Jackson Hole, I think, is Wednesday, Thursday. Now, here's the thing. Here's when the bottom happened within one day, 14 times out of those cases. So 36% of the time, we just saw the bottom on Friday morning and we're going to go up. So that's 1 out of every 3 or a little better than that. So I'm saying to myself, okay, I get it. The market's going to struggle this morning. Psychologically, no one buys gap up. But again, I'm looking at the volume. So what I'm saying to myself today is my strategy is buy the dip. Again, I'm looking for the lowest point. If the market dips quickly and then jumps up, I might have missed my opportunity. That shit happens. Okay, so what else did I want to share? Again, NVIDIA earnings after the bell on Wednesday. Here's what we're looking for. Expected numbers, 11.04 billion, up 64% year over year. That's revenues up 64% year over year. Earnings per share, $2.07. I'm actually expecting $2.42. I did my own math on the side. $2.07 would be up 690% year over year. Free cash flow, $3.9 billion, which is up 370% year over year. So those that are expecting NVIDIA to have a great quarter last quarter, which they did, the market shot up, right? It went to like 480. Now it went to 404, found support. It's back at like, 440 this morning, something to that extent. I think it closed at 432. I think it opened at, or right now it's probably like 444. Again, I'm holding not NVIDIA because it was damn expensive, not AMD because it's certainly not NVIDIA, but SOXL, SOXL. So what's my exit strategy? Again, for any calls that I'm holding, if I see support in the stock market and I think we're going to 444 or 4,400 on the S&P 500, then we still have another 1% to go or 1.5%, which means my positions could get even stronger. If I see this SPY reject with some volume, then I'll say, okay, shit, let me get out of my calls. Let me secure profit. If we get a nice dip, you know what I'll do? I'll re-enter the positions if I like them. Okay, so I shared why I think there's going to be turnaround. Interesting thing, Square SQ, right? Sitting on long support that goes back to 2018. Back then, Square had revenue of $2.2 billion. Today, Square has revenue of $17.5 billion. So the stock price was where it was 2018, March. We're back there again. I'm not saying I'm a Square fan, But you could also look at PayPal. PayPal was worth $354 billion in July of 2021. It was one of the top 25 companies in the world. And now today's PayPal is worth $65 billion, 82% less than where it was. So, I mean, again, there's a lot you could look at. Okay, let's get into my homework. All right. If you have any questions, put them on the side, ask them. All right. My homework from the weekend. So, what did I do? First thing I did, because I didn't trade on Friday, I stayed away from Discord. I stayed away from everything. I checked in on the stock market. I said I saw volume. It showed support in the market. There's generally continuation. So, yeah, I think we're going up earlier on this week, which is why I'm probably going to hold my calls till I see 444 on the SPY. We're sitting at 438 and change pre-market. Does it happen today? Probably not. I'm probably not going to do anything with my trades today unless I'm buying the dip for new positions. And if I do that, I'll share that with this Discord, which is what I have on now. So let's go to Discord. So someone was looking at 317. Now, if you look at 317 on Friday for Palantir, right? Reds are the put premiums here. Call premiums suck worse than that. The stock actually spiked a little, 1440, 1450, where we are now, right? So you're saying that doesn't look good, Matt. Why did you enter? Why did you enter this? So I just did my own homework. I went down. Here we go. On the weekend, Friday night, finally. What did I see Palantir end with? Well, here we go. A huge spike in calls. So I'm looking, and that was above and beyond anything we've seen in the past. All right, for what? Dating back to the 16th. So the past couple week, I guess, right? With that said, I'm bullish. And again, that kind of supported my other position. Now, what else did I do? So I looked at Palantir just on a one-day basis, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Puts kind of flattened out. Calls were down here. Once they jump above, even though the price went down under 1440, I'm still be able to hold my position and be bullish going into this week. Again, because when do you see a spike like this and then all of a sudden followed by a whole bunch of red? You didn't see that in the chart I showed you. So then I said, okay, let me look at the flow sum. Let's see if they're buying or selling. So mostly, I guess it's 50-50, but they're doing a little more selling, and it's calls. It's all calls. So they're either buying the calls, and some people are selling the calls, and it's out of the money, so they're collecting the premium. So even if the stock goes up, they're making a little bit of a profit. Somebody else, I mentioned Citibank over the weekend, so it kind of looks like it had bottomed. If you're looking at puts, the put premium is down here, the stock price is back here, call premiums up here. I look for a spike in call premiums. And again, I mentioned buying leaps. I mentioned that on Webull. See, again, here's where you go. Mostly they're doing some selling. They're selling calls, so they're not expecting maybe much of a move. And that could be because the 2-year, the 10-year, and the US dollar have been peaking, all right? So maybe when that goes down, I might get involved. If you look at the big flow, again, you're looking at call side, ask, and then finally someone did some selling. But that would be seen as bullish, right? Flow map, you can look at heat flow map. Again, this wasn't me, but I did mention Citigroup. All right, so this is what I was doing. Tesla, people were so bearish Tesla, and I'm like, wait, Tesla should rebound. If the market rebounds, it goes to 444. So what am I going to do this morning? I want to see the puts from Tesla drop down, meaning put holders give up because they think Tesla's going higher. If I see that, that is a confirmation for me that the market will go higher. If put holders and Tesla stay up here, then it'll probably drop at some point. There'll be bearish divergence, meaning the price is up here, the puts are up here, the calls are still down here. So meaning it would likely drop at some point. So I looked at the Qs and I'm like, oh shit, end of day, they were really giving up on the calls and they somewhat gave up a little on their puts. But again, this is bearish. And I'm like, shit, the Qs are bearish. How could I be bullish my chip stocks? And I'm like, okay, because the market isn't trading all as one going down or all as one going higher. It's a sector. It's like a stock pickers market. Looking at Nvidia, no, they haven't given up on their puts on Nvidia. Again, premiums up here, call premiums are spiking. IV on both sides is spiking. We finally saw a little green down here, so that'll be interesting to see how Nvidia plays out. AMD, again, I wanted to check that one into earnings. You saw a run on the 17th, which was Thursday. What did they do? They loaded into calls. What does that tell you? Well, the price was what? Right here when they loaded in, and the price is still right here. So, yeah, at 106, AMD is a shocking buy, okay? And again, that's why I am in the contracts that I'm in. Then I looked at Micron. I'm like, holy shit, Micron, another chip maker, right? Oh, what happened to Micron? Oh, it dropped off. I've never seen calls drop off like this. Pretty substantial. Puts increased. I would be bearish Micron. So if I had to play two of them, I could feel like I want to be bullish AMD calls, bearish Micron puts. And if the market kind of just does its thing and it's a stock picker's market, they both could be correct, but they kind of offset each other and kind of protect. I looked what was happening, buying versus selling. They're selling a lot of puts. So maybe Micron doesn't go through the roof, but maybe it hovers while AMD and NVIDIA go higher. Again, I haven't played Micron. I wouldn't play Micron. I checked out Unity. I didn't like that. I checked out TDD. Not too much action there, so I didn't really go there. I looked at the SPY. I was like, okay, it dropped. No calls didn't spike, nothing like that. I went for a 3-day chart just to get a better feel. So again, people aren't sure. They want to see confirmation. I looked at Microsoft, the net flow, nothing special there. And then I looked at the net flow for Microsoft here. And what did you see? Well, puts are still towards the bottom. Stock price looked awesome on Friday. And again, calls, they have not given up. So again, what I want to do is I want to go about 30 minutes into the market and check all these things again. Again, this is why I'm going to hold Palantir. I checked what they were doing with Microsoft. What are they mostly doing? Well, they're buying probably about 68%, and it's about 72% calls weighted. Even though you're seeing 346 on the call side, 327, you're like, oh, that's about 50-50. Not really. This is more call weighted. And what do we see Microsoft do on Friday once it bottomed? It came up pretty strong. Okay, Philadelphia, semiconductor, stocks, which I'm in, right? So what did I show you? Put premiums still down here, even though the stocks was coming down to 20, I think close to $20.15. The call premiums are still up here. They spiked since early on Friday. This is 10:55 a.m., so maybe 11 a.m., okay? Well, the action happened. You can get in right here. What do you get? A better entry here. Dip again. Sometimes I'm the one who gets in right here on the first dip. I'm like, yeah, I nailed it. And everybody else gets in 10% better. Why 10%? Not only did it dip harder, but you're losing the time. And especially if your options expired on Friday, which I would never suggest doing 0 days till expiration. Then I went back to the stock sell, looked at the 3 days. So as the price was coming down, they weren't buying calls yet. They weren't buying calls yet. Oh, right here, they started buying calls. Volume emptied out a little. Price went even lower. Okay, so again, if you see them buying calls, here, you're looking for a dip. There's one dip. There's a second dip. Again, you're getting well, you're not this morning because it's up 3%. Okay, then I looked at AI, right? We're talking about NVIDIA, Palantir, AMD. Look at AI. Here's the net premiums. What do they do with the puts? It's sub-zero for the net premiums. The calls are still up here. The stock price is up here. So this is extremely bullish as well. Again, I didn't enter that one. I looked at the flow sum again. Now I'm looking and I'm like, okay, well, they are seeming to buy more puts, so I'm going to stay away from this one. This one's too speculative for me. So again, I looked at AMD, looked at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is expensive. Looked at AI, and I decided Palantir was my best entry besides for the SOX L. Then I even looked at Apple, and I'm like, okay, well, at least Apple puts are still down here. They haven't spiked up, which tells me Apple might have found some support. Again, you saw puts drop off. Here was Friday morning, right? Boom, here we go. What did they do? First thing they did, they unloaded their puts, all right? And then what happened? Apple went up. All right. So again, you got to pay attention to the flows and algos. I went back 3 days just to make sense and see that Apple perhaps bottomed. So again, Apple 178, 179 here, right? Bottomed 171, big spike down, coming up, right? As it's coming up, what do? Drop the puts. What happened again? Drop the puts. So if this put line continues to go down, this is looking like strong bullish support for Apple. Doesn't mean Apple's going to rip through the roof, but it tells me that Apple has some support. Then I look buys and sells. Okay, it's basically even 134. Now, let me tell you why it's basically even. It's basically even because as we enter Monday today, people are like, half the people that I see are like, the market, that was bullshit. It was a trap. The market going up. I don't believe Friday. It's going to crash. It deserves to crash. Now, I'm not in that camp, all right? Understand, you need some type of occurrence. You need Russia attacking Ukraine. Okay, well, that happened. Market dropped. You have the U.S. downgrade by Fitch. Okay, well, that happened. The market dropped. You have shit happening in China, bad economy. Yeah, that's been happening. China went down another 1.58% yesterday. So people are like, yeah, our markets are going to continue lower. There's no reason for support. But there is reason for support. We were waiting at all-time highs. We were consolidating. Great. There was no super reason to sell off. It's not like the 10-year spike, the 2-year spike, the U.S. dollar spiking. It's not like the Fed is coming on saying, yeah, we got to hike rates again. What they're probably going to do at Jackson Hole is probably be split. Nothing's going to happen. With that said, all right, so let's get into my SPY prediction today. SPY prediction, remember, 3-point range. I put it on the side. If you guys read the comments, if you have comments or questions, Ask on the sidelines. But here it is. The last 3 Mondays, the last 8 Mondays, we've seen a 3-point range on the SPY, which doesn't mean we closed at 436 and now we're at 438. That's already 2 points. No, it's from where we open. So let's say we open, and let's remove this, and let's get the SPY up on the screen. So give me 1 second just to see how quick I am to get the SPY up. Boom. All right. So, I actually got the SPY up there. So let's add this to the stream. All right, here we go. Let's get rid of the advertisement. That happens when you're using a free platform. I use tradingview.com just to look at different charts. What are we seeing? Here we are. We're at 0.33 this morning, just under 438. Okay, so what is potentially happened? Let's go back to 5 minute won't be enough for us. No, it won't. We need to go back to a 15-minute chart. So again, what I was looking at on Friday, and I'll go back to the 5-minute chart, well, 15-minute chart first. You can see right here, what were they doing? Buying Friday morning, okay? Strong volume. Then a couple sell-offs. Why? Because the market's been tanking. Of course, people are going to say sell the spike. We were dipping, right? They bought, we sold. We finally bottomed right around here, which you're probably going to see around 10:50 a.m., right? Then we came up, and again, people's psychology, you're not going to be a believer like, yeah, the market's going higher. No, the market's been being thrown up on. Anybody that's been entering calls has been getting crushed. Anybody entering puts has been scoring lately. So understand, when we finally see a turnaround on Friday, most people are going to say, hey, man, that's a freaking trap. I'm not getting stuck in that trap. In fact, what I'm going to do is wait for the market to go up, and I'm going to buy puts. Now, I'm just warning everybody. And again, this is my opinion only. If you like my opinion, you can tell me by thumbs up. You can make a comment on the side, or you can join me tomorrow morning. But my opinion is, shit, the market's going up. It was oversold. We went under -50 on the oscillator. Generally, we see a bounce within a few days, within 1 to 15 days. With that said, within 1 day, we generally see a bounce within 36 percentile. So I said to myself, well, it's a little better than 1 to 3. Everybody's so bearish on the market. We've got NVIDIA earnings. I believe the SOX L, based on my homework, is going up. If I think chips are going up, then I think technology might have bottomed out. If I think technology might have bottomed out, then all these people that keep buying puts are going to get screwed. So again, this is only my take, but I believe we just went down on the SPY, and I was looking for support at 440. We didn't see it. We went down to 434. A lot of people were calling 434 the number, and lo and behold, we bounced 2 points. 2 points does not make a bounce. It could be a dead cat bounce. However, I believe we're 438 this morning. I'm posting on Webull over the weekend that I think we're going to see $440.12 at some point today, which would tell me the market's going to be a little stronger at some point today. And again, then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Jackson Hole Thursday. Here's interesting. I made the German comment already. So I wouldn't sell my calls until I see 444. Now, if I'm wrong, if I see some major outflow today and we're back at 434, I would still have to think we'd find support at 434. So hit the like button. How can I get access to all that good shit? I'll put out the platform. I can't spell platform.com. All right. Now we do have, let me put this on. We do have a public sector section on the platform, public chat, public watch list, some other, but if you want the algorithms, that is the institutional feed. So you can either sign up just for the institutional feed, or you could sign up for the institutional feed in the other chat rooms and things like that, which it has my updates, has Romeo's trading, has Love's updates, trader chat, shit like that. Yeah, please hit that like button. That's how you get access right here. Please look on the side. All right, let's look at some stocks because that's why I had this up. So let's go back and add this to the screen. Let me make sure it's nice and big. Oh, did I not add it yet? Nope. Should I just remove it? Add it? There we go. Okay, thank goodness. All right, so I've got the SPY up here right now. I gave you my SPY prediction. My SPY prediction for today is I'm bullish. All right. We're sitting at pre-market. Shit, I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on, let me just get rid of this link here. Okay. Pre-market. We're sitting at 437.86. So let's just say we open up at 437.86. Okay. That's nice and easy. We're likely to sell to start the day. So we're going to come down to, let's say 437 flat. Okay. Say the market drops to 437 flat. Everything that was up pre-market, you're almost flat again. 437 flat. What's going to happen? We're going up to 440 on the top. If 437 is support, this is how I think today's going to play out. Open 437, find support. 437, find support. 438, 439. Now we're at 440. Reject 440, back to 439. Trade that 3-point range. I do think we see 440 and 12 cents today. If I see that, if I see strong volume, I'll hold some positions. So let me share some positions. Okay, let's look at some stocks here. I've got the SPY up there, but you're not looking because I didn't pull it up on the screen. There it is. All right, so I've got the SPY. I'm going to go back to the 5-minute just so we can see what happened. Again, volume looked real strong beginning of the day. Guess what? Volume was stronger at the end of the day, and it was buying. Every time we consolidated or went down, again, there was support, 434.73. 434.73, right? Then we didn't see that low again. We saw 435. It was 36. 435, 36 we saw in the afternoon here. Okay, so there you go. And then where did we go up? So every time we went up half a point, there was a little bit of consolidation. Once we found support, we'd go up higher. That's the same thing you're seeing pre-market. If you go pre-market, we're going right back here. It's not like we're such an offshoot from where they were buying it on Friday. So again, let's go over some other stocks. Let me look at UAL. Well, shit, they were selling it off Friday morning, Thursday close, Friday morning. We already know what happened. What happened? Strong buying as there was support for the market. So yeah, UAL looks kind of good for a Dow play. Now that I think there's going to be support, Alibaba again. If China just scares the shit out of me, one of these days China is going to turn around. But it wasn't Monday for them. Monday, the Chinese Hang Seng went down like 1.86%. If it goes down 1.86% every day, it's off like 22% since their highs like a couple of months ago. Rivian 2110. Let's remember, I came on, what was it, Thursday? I was last year. I'm like, Rivian has support all the way up to 2119. And then what do we see? Where we see Rivian Friday morning? It was like 2020, right? 2046. Where was it? 2046, right? I almost bought some because I was telling myself, hey, I tell everybody on YouTube that Rivian has support all the way up to about $21.19. So anytime it's under there lately, you could buy that. Now, Apple had some support. Again, I'm looking at the 5 minutes. We had buying end of day Thursday, even though we had that sell-off. So they started loading into it all the way up here. So I would say, great, Apple would run all the way here. Well, what happened on Friday? We opened down here, 172, even 171. So yeah, it makes sense. We're back at 175, 175.31. Again, I want to watch this. If I go out the 15-minute, I'm still looking, and we still have this huge gap right here. So Apple could technically run before running into some resistance to 177, a whole nother 1% higher. If the SPY goes up another 1% from where it is, you're talking about 442. So yeah, I think the market's going to be a little strong. Tesla, people were saying, perfect entry for Tesla. I'm reading these comments over the freaking weekend. Understand, I'm a bull as of Friday. I saw what I thought the bottom was. I think we're going up to 444, possibly 446, 447 before we reject. So another 2%. So I'm seeing Tesla over the weekend. I'm going to buy at 200. Oh no, I'm going to buy at 208. Oh, that's a perfect support level. I told everybody it was dropping under 228. I'm also telling everybody, shit, all this volume down here, 214, clear buy signal. Clear. Go to the 5 minute. Here we go. Again, they weren't buying it. Morning bought on open. No way. I'm going to wait for the bottom. When the rest of the market was bottoming, right? Tesla kept dropping more, $212 and change. Finally, some strong purchasing, right? All the way up to 216. Wouldn't pay more than something like this, top of this hour right here. So you could have got in any of these times. Drop right here. You already know you're buying the dip. Again, drop right here off some volume, buying the dip, end of the day here. Where were we this morning? Spiking up, okay? I wouldn't chase Tesla. Again, I'm a buy the dip guy. So if you find the bottom in Tesla today and you find the bottom in the market 3-point on the SPY, yes, Tesla calls you can get into. Careful, because I showed you the algorithms for Tesla were already bearish. People are also talking about how NVIDIA was so bearish. However, I looked at NVIDIA over the weekend, and again, I saw a few more. It's probably more like 56 to 40. No, it's probably like 54 to 46%, but it's more bullish. I think I see people on X or Twitter commenting all the time. All right. With that said, you guys have been wonderful this morning. Appreciate everybody joining me. Please, if you like what I do, thumbs up. If you like what I do, tell a friend, share the link. And I'll see everybody tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Join me.